Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is an old video from 1994, and excuse me, the video is pretty bad, but remember this is from video from 1994. But it's about a ABC TV primetime report on UFOs in Russia and how after they were having these sightings, the government decided to order basically all of or anyone in the Russian military to start looking up and reporting any UFO sightings. Also have two clips of UFOs that were seen over Russia. This is a Russian MiG that was chasing this large cylinder-shaped UFO. Let me show you the size of this thing. Yeah, look at this. Huge cylinder-shaped UFO. And then I have this one here, which is an actual cylinder-shaped UFO. And, this is one of these videos that, back when I started my first YouTube channel that, YouTube took down that channel. So this is actually the my second channel that I had to start from scratch. But anyways, this is one of those videos that I spent literally years looking for this clip. And finally found it. And I also have 3 Twitter clips of a UFO that was sighted in Iran that I found on Reddit. Got this one here that the military fires at. And I believe this is also the same craft because this is July 15th. And this is July 15th. But then here's another clip of a UFO over Iran. But this is from June 24th. So about a month before. And let's see, I also wanted to show you this channel of this guy, Ivan0315, who was the original poster of the Skinny Bob video. But you see that this channel's been up for 12 years. And, that's all he has. He's got these 4 videos and nothing else. And let's see, and then here is a stabilized version of this video here, which is disclosure leaked on UFO alien case. Yeah, people couldn't figure out, what the location. So I think that's why they stabilized to try and figure out where it was. And then last, I have these articles on these figurines called the Triads of Menkaura. But yeah, you can see how precise these carvings are, and there were actually 6 of them that they found, but they believe there was a total of 8. And a lot of Egyptologists and academics will try and tell you that this was carved by hand, by people by hand. But you look at the detail in this. Look at the knees, the muscles. Yeah, there's no way this was done by hand. These. They had to have been created by some kind of machine in like a production factory or something. But anyways, last is this document from NSA.gov's website of a sighting that took place in Iran in 1976. So, apparently Iran's been getting a lot of sightings, and they get sightings they've been getting sightings a long time. But anyways, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing these videos to you, please give this video a like, please share, and more importantly, please subscribe, because that will really help me out. But anyways, let's go to this first video here. Now, like I said, this is from 1994, so the video is not the greatest. But anyways, check this out.
August 6, 1968, in Riga, Latvia. It is 3 o'clock on a sunny afternoon. A Soviet camera team is shooting a routine propaganda film about military preparedness.
And suddenly the pilots shouted, "Look, film it." We looked and saw a triangle at a tremendous height.
It was later estimated to have been flying at 7 miles up.
Yeah, now remember, this is very similar to the triangles that were seen over that Navy ship that Jeremy Corbell filmed. And also I have posted a couple videos about these pyramid-shaped UFOs that were seen over the Pentagon, over Moscow, and over China.
It was apparently enormous. Before a plane could scramble into the air to identify the object, it went behind a cloud and disappeared.
I understood after the report to the government that they really took it seriously. I say seriously because the film was taken away. It was declared completely secret.
The film was immediately locked up in KGB vaults and never seen by the public. That is, until we got a hold of it. During a 5-month investigation, Primetime obtained over 1,000 pages of documents collected by the old KGB. We spoke to dozens of Russian scientists, government officials, and military men. We now know that the entire Soviet armed forces, a total of 15 million people over 10 years, was involved in a UFO study that turned up 40 major incidents, including one that prompted fears of accidental nuclear war. As a result of the study, hundreds of UFOs were recorded, and some were photographed.
Well, imagine if our military, ordered all of our soldiers to start looking up to the sky and actually recording anytime they see UFOs. But anyways, that's that. And, here. Yeah, so I found these other 2 videos that were of UFO sightings in Russia. This one is of a MiG that chased this large cylinder-shaped UFO. Let me just start it right about here.
Which is visible here is a large cylindrical-shaped object. And as the Russian planes close in, the UFO suddenly picks up speed and disappears. Here it is once again. You'll notice the cylinder seems to be traveling at about the same speed as the MiGs until about here. And then it seems to increase its speed, which, according to pilots, must have reached at least Mach 3 in about 10 seconds.
A lot of this footage was declassified after the Soviet military failed to identify the object seen here. This one shows an interception attempt by MiG pilots. There were many cylindrical object interceptions that were reported and investigated. We were interested in the high-speed potential of this object. The size of this one is estimated to be about twice the size of a MiG-21. With technology available to us and the Americans, it should not be able to move as fast as it does.
Yeah, this footage is still interesting because I don't think the Russians had any idea what they were dealing with here. Their fighters were at least as good as ours, and yet here is something that is completely beyond their capability to intercept. The acceleration rate of this thing is impossible for any aircraft that we know.
Now, I'm not sure if, let's see, let me go. I'm not sure if this is the same craft, because according to that illustration, it was just a smooth body where you can see this craft here has details in it. But like I said, this is one of those videos that it's hard to find on YouTube. I know, when I first saw it, I saw it on YouTube, and when I went to look for it, I wasn't able to find it, but just happened to come across it now. So check this out.
Ебучий случай, блядь, ну какой-то нахуй. Блядь. Где?
Yeah, that sound is very similar to the sound that was recorded, that's been recorded all over the world of something. But that's kind of interesting. Anyways, now again, like I said, I found these 3 videos on a Reddit post and of a sighting that just took place over Iran. Now this one shows the military actually firing on it. Now, I believe this is the same craft, just taken from a different location. And then let's see, I have one more from Iran. Now this is definitely, taken on a different date. This is June 24th as opposed to July 15th. So this is definitely, or, I don't, again, I have no idea whether it's the same craft or not, but it's not taken on the same day.
بله ما هم شی نورانی تو کرمان داریم. نگاه کن علیرضا بیا. علی زومش کردم بیا. توش آبیه. چیه؟ سفینه. دوستان این یا سفینه است یا ماهواره است که فیلمه. نکن زوم نگاه. ستاره شهاب سنگ داداش. آبیه چی میگی ستاره است؟ ببین شهاب سنگه میدونی چرا؟ چون داره با یک سرعتی داره میاد به زمین برخورد کنه. نورش کمتر شد.
Anyways, that's that. Let's go to this other YouTube channel here. Like I said, yeah, this is the Ivan0115. This is the original guy who posted the Skinny Bob videos, but let me just play some of these for you. This is apparently about a meeting. They call it family vacation, but it says that from the first contact in 1942, a series of diplomatic visits to discuss matters of mutual concern were planned. I think this is, where they might have discussed that the treaty where they would be allowed to abduct our citizens in exchange for some of their advanced technology. Under the Treaty 2304, these meetings would take place in secrecy. A limited number of special agents would escort visitors, and they would only meet high-ranking officials. According to the document 072E, at the meeting of 1961, there was an incident involving 3 subjects due to the violation of the agreement by the officers at the military base when they discovered that their rival was being filmed with a hidden device without their consent. Yeah, apparently they weren't supposed to film anything. Under the Treaty 2304, the meeting would be confidential and filming or taking photographs would not be allowed, but obviously they did take it. Now check out this these beings and pay attention to the way these guys walk and then when one of them looks directly into the camera. After the incident, the treaty was revised. Remember, yeah, these guys can read our minds. So the idea that people within our government would think that they could secretly film them is, God, it's just ridiculous. Anyways, that's that one. And then let me show you the Skinny Bob. Oop. Or let me just go to here. The Skinny Bob video here. Film rate for declassification and dissemination through the internet and media. 7 videotapes with material recorded between 1942 and 69. Let me just jump ahead to this. Now, yeah, one thing, yeah, this is called the Skinny Bob videos. Pay attention to this being when it blinks. Because if this was made in 1976, at the latest, or, in the 1960s, there was no way CGI was that good. So yeah, like I said, pay attention to the blinking. Yeah, and on this one here, watch the subtle, look at those fingers. Look at the length of those fingers and the fact that his hand literally comes past his knees. Watch the subtle movements of the hand. Again, if this was in 1976 or even or later, yeah, digital effects were not at that point where they could do something like this. again, and there's nothing else. But again, you know, you see that blinking. Now let's see this. There's this this last video here. I'm just going to play the stabilized, or a short version of the stabilized, of it stabilized. Check this out. Kind of interesting. Anyways, links to this will be in the description. Now, last are these two links about these figurines, or these statues called the Triads of King Menkaura. I think that's how you say that. But yeah, look at that. This is one of them. Remember, they found at least 5 of them, and or no, they found 6 of them. 4 of them were pretty intact. 2 of them were pieces, fragments were broken off, but they believe there was a total of 8. It says King Menkaura built the 3rd pyramid at Giza Plateau. This was smaller than Khufu and Khafre's pyramid, but partly cased with granite, transported all the way from Aswan. These triad statues come from his valley temple and show the king standing between the 2 female figures. The goddess Hathor on his right is crowned with the sun disk between the 2 cows' horns. To Menkaura's left are personifications to different nomes, provinces of Egypt, with their symbols written above the head. The king, wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt and the Shendit kilt, wished to enjoy resurrection and fertility from Hathor and endless offerings from the gnomes. Yeah, but here's a photo of the 4 intact ones. Like I said, there was, you know, the other 2 weren't as clear, but here's a better close-up of this thing. But look at the detail, right? And like I said, you know, Egyptologists and other archaeologists will try and claim that this was done with hand tools and chisels, which is just ridiculous. So look at the details in the muscles and the knees, the toes. And you have to remember, you know, all of the statues that were carved, that was built after, like literally thousands of years after these were created, don't show the same level of accuracy. But look at the shine on this, you know. So they were able to cut this granite so precise that it reflects. Look at the hair. Anyways, that's that. Now let me go to this last PDF, this last file here. This is from NSA.gov's website, but it's about a UFO sighting that took place in 1976 in Iran. So, you know, apparently they've been getting a lot of UFO sightings throughout the years. But let me give this a quick read here. This report forwards information concerning the sighting of a UFO in Iran on 19 September 1976. At about 12:30 a.m. on the 19th of September 76, the redacted received 4 telephone calls from citizens living in the Shemiran area of Tehran saying that they had seen strange objects in the sky. Some reported a kind of bird-like object, while others reported a helicopter with a light on. There were no helicopters airborne at that time. After he told the citizens it was only stars and had talked to Mehrabad Tower, he decided to look for himself. He noticed an object in the sky similar to a star, bigger and brighter. He decided to scramble an F-4 from Cherokee Air Force Base to investigate. At 01:30 hours on the 19th, the F-4 took off and proceeded to a point about 40 nautical miles north of Tehran. Due to its brilliance, the object was easily visible from 70 miles away. As the F-4 approached a range of 25 nautical miles, he lost all instrumentation and communication, UHF and intercom. He broke off the intercept and headed back to Cherokee when the F-4 turned away from the object and apparently was no longer a threat to it. The aircraft regained all instrumentation and communications. At 01:40 hours, a second F-4 was launched. The backseater acquired a radar lock on at 27 nautical miles, 12 o'clock high position, with the VD rate of closure at 150 nautical miles per hour. As the range decreased to 25 nautical miles, The object moved away at a speed that was visible on the radar scope and stayed at 25 nautical miles. The size of the radar return was comparable to that of a 707 tanker. The visual size of the object was difficult to discern because of its intense brilliance. The light that it gave off was that of flashing strobe lights arranged in a rectangular pattern and alternating blue, green, red, and orange in color. The sequence of the lights was so fast that all the colors could be seen at once. The object and the pursuing F-4 continued on a course to the south of Tehran when another brightly lighted object, estimated to be 1/2 to 1/3 the apparent size of the moon, came out of the original object. This second object headed straight towards the F-4 at a very fast rate of speed. The pilot attempted to fire an AIM-9 missile at the object, but at that instant his weapons control panel went off and he lost all communications, UHF, and interphone. At this point, the pilot initiated a turn and negative G dive to get away. As he turned, the object fell and trailed at what appeared to be about 3 to 4 nautical miles. As he continued in his turn away from the primary object, the second object went to the inside of his turn, then returned to the primary object for a perfect rejoin. Shortly after the second object joined up with the primary object, another object appeared to come out of the other side of the primary object, going straight down at a great rate of speed. The F-4 crew had regained communications and the weapons control panel and watched the object approach the ground, anticipating a large explosion. This object appeared to come to rest gently on the earth and cast a very bright light over an area of about 2 to 3 kilometers. The crew descended from their altitude of 25 to 15 miles and continued to observe and mark the object's position. 25 to 15 meters, and continued to observe and mark the object's position. They had some difficulty in adjusting their night visibility for landing, so after orbiting Mehrod a few times, they went out for a straight-in landing. There was a lot of interference on the UHF, and each time they passed through a mag bearing at 150 degrees from Farad, they lost their communications, UHF and interphone, and the INS, fluctuated instruments. From 30 degrees to negative 50 degrees. The one civil airliner that was approaching Mehrabad during the same time experienced communications failure in the same vicinity, Kilo Zulu, but did not report seeing anything. While the F-4 was on a long final approach, the crew noticed another cylinder-shaped object, about the size of a T-bird at 10 meters, 10,000 feet. With bright steady lights on each end and a flasher in the middle. When queried, the tower stated there was no other known traffic in the area. During the time that the object passed over the F-4, the tower did not have a visual on it, but picked it up after the pilot told them to look between the mountains and the refinery. During daylight, the F-4 crew was taken out to the area in a helicopter where the object apparently had landed. Nothing was noticed at the spot they thought the object landed, a dry lake bed, but as they circled off to the west of the area, they picked up a very noticeable beeper signal. At the point where the return was the loudest was a small house with a garden. They landed and asked the people within if they had noticed anything strange last night. The people talked about a loud noise and a very bright light like lightning. The aircraft and the area where the object is believed to have landed are being checked for possible radiation. Interesting. Well, yeah, that's about it here. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end. And like I said, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a like, please share, and more importantly, please subscribe. It'll really help me out. Until next time, take care.